You're watching the Alabama Weather Network.
It's Friday evening, the 17th of October. This is meteorologist James Spann getting set to cruise into a weekend that features a chance of some needed rain for Alabama. So a lot of new model data is in. Let's see if we can get all this down to timing, intensity, rain amounts. So here we go. This is the upper air look across the country this afternoon. Got a trough in the western states that is progressive, moving east. That's going to provide the dynamic support to get this cold front through here. But today, we still have the ridge in place. And accordingly, it's a mostly sunny, very warm day. Visible satellite view. Got a few high cirrus clouds over the northern counties, a field of fair weather cumulus clouds over South Alabama. And so far, we see nothing on radar. That's the radar composite this afternoon. Another very warm October day. In fact, look at Selma. They've hit 90 here on the 17th of October. Demopolis hitting 90. Most spots in the mid-80s. These values about 10 degrees above average for mid-October. We'll check the watch warning map around the nation. Freeze watches in effect for parts of the nation's midsection as colder air drops south. Got a marginal risk of severe storms along that cold front later today and tonight from western Oklahoma up to about Kansas City. And then tomorrow, a fairly large risk of severe storms defined from eastern Texas and parts of the Gulf Coast region into the Ohio Valley. And we have a level 2 out of 5 risk over all of Arkansas and some of the adjacent states. That level 2 out of 5 risk includes, obviously, places like Little Rock and Memphis. Includes areas down toward Shreveport, up toward Paducah, Kentucky. But we do believe the storms should be weakening as they move into Alabama, which means the chance of severe storms here not really all that high. We have that level 2 out of 5 risk kind of clipping the northwestern corner of the state. But for most of Alabama, it's a level 1 out of 5, marginal risk of severe storms. And again, keep in mind, this outlook runs through 7 a.m. Sunday. These storms coming in here after midnight tomorrow night. We have a level 1 out of 5 risk, a marginal risk from near Scottsboro to Calera down to Gulf Shores, areas in dark green on that map. And the storms could produce some small hail and gusty winds, but again, they should be weakening middle of the night. We just don't expect a big problem. But having said that, we'll look at the severe weather parameters in just a second. And then on Sunday, we have a marginal risk well to the northeast of Alabama, parts of eastern Kentucky, West Virginia, into Ohio and Pennsylvania. But we need some rain, and this is the latest projection. Rain amounts could maybe hit 1 inch, maybe a little more, over the Tennessee Valley down into northwest Alabama, places like Huntsville, the Shoals, Athens, Hamilton, Haleyville, Sulligent, Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Anniston, Gadsden, 1/2 to 1 inch. South Alabama, under 1/2 inch. And really, after this rain pushes out of here Sunday afternoon, will be dry for most of next week. And if you missed it, this is the latest drought monitor. This was released yesterday. And you can see that extreme drought, D3, expanding over West Alabama, the red on that map. Tuscaloosa, Demopolis, Greensboro, Utah, Aliceville. And again, the Tennessee Valley is in much better shape, but we clearly need some rain. And obviously, if we get 1/2 to 1 inch, that's not going to break a drought, but it's a start. So in the tropics, have a couple of yellow X's on the board. We have this really non-tropical low that's far east of the United States, northern Atlantic coast. And we have one out there in the middle of the Atlantic. This is the 7-day outlook. And for both of those, just a low chance of anything developing at this point. And again, that higher latitude system, that's going to be in colder water, and I just don't think that's an issue for anybody. Now, this is the one to watch. The lower latitude system, there is a 30% chance this becomes either a depression or storm over the next 7 days. This is coming toward the Windward Islands and then into the Caribbean early next week. But again, the models just don't do much with this. Let's go to the probabilistic outlook from the European global model. This is the probability of tropical depression formation over the next 10 days. And numbers are really high here. This is suggesting a depression will form over the far southwest Caribbean, then moving into Central America. But look at this. This is the chance of tropical storm formation. Nothing, not a chance. So what the European is telling us, and it's a pretty reliable model at this range, is that a depression could form over the far southwest Caribbean, moving into Central America, mainly a rainmaker. It's weak, no tropical storms, and this is far, far south of the Gulf. And again, today, like we have talked about for a long time, and we're very blessed here, we see no tropical storm or hurricane formation for the Gulf, at least for the next 7 to 10 days. So model fans, here we go. European, 12Z run, 4 o'clock tomorrow. The trough getting closer. The cold front getting closer. However, I think the day will be dry and warm, much like today. We'll be well up in the 80s. Let's go to the high-resolution HER model. This is valid tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock. And the chance of rain is not zero. Could there be a little isolated shower somewhere? Sure, but they should be few and far between. In most places with no rain during the day tomorrow through midnight tomorrow night. We've got Alabama with a home game in Tuscaloosa, Auburn with a home game, and Auburn clearly no concern with rain. For the Alabama-Tennessee game, just a small chance of a shower. That organized batch of storms you see back over Arkansas, that comes in after midnight, well after the game is over. In fact, let's go to 1 a.m. This is just after midnight tomorrow night, and the batch of storms coming into northwest Alabama, and they should be weakening at that point. Here's a look at the instability. Very, very modest, just not very impressive. The better instability down near the coast, but the better dynamic support is lifting away where there's no instability. In fact, this is the storm relative helicity, and again, you can see those better values over Tennessee where the air is stable. So accordingly, the significant tornado parameter, just nothing significant here. So we're not expecting a tornado problem, and most likely just a weakening band of storms coming in here with gusty winds, and there might be some small hail, but they'll continue to weaken overnight, tomorrow night into early Sunday morning. Now, one thing we should point out here, it's the gradient wind. This is the projected 10-meter wind gust. And again, I want to stress this is 10 meters off the ground, not directly at the surface. The surface winds will probably not be quite this gusty, but notice potential for 10-meter wind gust of 40 miles per hour. Now, this is not related to storms. This is gradient wind. And a gust there showing at 33. So I think during the Alabama-Tennessee game, it will be breezy. Winds averaging 10 to 20, maybe gusting to 25, 30 toward the second half. So kind of a breezy evening in Tuscaloosa with that gusty south wind. Auburn, not quite as windy. On the eastern side of the state, winds there probably 7 to 14, maybe gusting to 20. So when does the rain end? Well, it should be out of the state by early Sunday afternoon. No change in our thinking here. This is 4 o'clock Sunday, and the bulk of the rain out of here. So that's good news for race fans at Talladega. This is race weekend, so I think there's a decent chance they get the big race in on Sunday. There might be a delay. Rain is likely Sunday morning, but the rain should be gone in Talladega by noon or 1 o'clock. And Sunday, noticeably cooler, highs in the 70s. Next week, a beautiful day Monday. We start the day in the 40s. The high will be in the 70s. Tuesday, there's actually a surface front coming in here, but with no moisture, there's just no chance of rain. And then on Wednesday, the coolest air so far this season settles in here. Parts of North Alabama could see highs in the 60s and lows in the 40s, and we might see some upper 30s for the colder pockets by early Thursday morning. But Thursday looking dry and cool. This is a week from today, Friday the 24th, a zonal flow. And again, we're still dry. So really, after we get this weekend rain event, much of next week looking cool and dry. Let's keep going. This is 10 days out. This is Monday, the 27th of October. Trough in the western states. Ridge trying to rebuild, and evidence there might be a few showers around, but probably nothing too meaningful. Rain for the next 15 days between now and the 1st of November. The green line is what you're looking for there. The mean is up there a little over 1.5 inches. That will not break a drought, but again, you got to start somewhere. One more day with highs in the mid-80s. Then the 80s are gone for a while. Highs drop in the 70s. And again, notice Wednesday of next week. 71 there. Many of the northern communities in the state could see highs in the 60s. And again, some of the colder pockets could see upper 30s by Thursday morning of next week. And just in, latest long-range guidance, October 25th through October 31st. Still looking maybe a little above average out there toward the end of this month. Hey, let's roll some Children's of Alabama Kid Cam. Whoa, Nelly, what a crowd today. Goodness gracious. Woodstock Elementary school, Bibb County. Oh, we had the whole school in the lunchroom, and what a great session today. And look at this cake. That's just artwork right there. That's astounding. That's amazing. Goodness gracious. And on top of that amazing cake, we had these amazing cookies. Total bonanza. But listen, we talked about the water cycle. We talked about how storms are good. They're a vital part of the water cycle. Did some storm spotting, talked about hurricanes, winter storms, and much more. A good session today. We had so much fun. That's a wonderful school with great teachers. So we get to all these folks at Woodstock Elementary School. Thanks a lot for a great visit earlier today. You know, you guys are looking good. So this evening, I'm going to be in Hoover at the Hoover Met for the Friday Night Rivals game of the week. That is Thompson at Hoover. That will be on our sister station in the Birmingham market, My 68, Channel 68 at 7. I'll be on ABC 3340 out there at 4, 5, and 6. Tomorrow, SEC Nation. Yeah, they came a-calling, so we're going to have a little bit of fun with Paul Feinbaum and Laura Rutledge and Tim Tebow and the crew. That's going to be on the SEC Network between 9 and 11. And I think I hit the air with them about 10 o'clock. And that is live from Tuscaloosa. So in case you're there, come by and see us. That'll be a lot of fun. Don't forget, you can catch my forecast on great radio stations around the state every day, including in Birmingham. Classic Rock 106.9. Thanks for watching. Have a marvelous weekend, and God bless.